An anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer.
Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine.
To keep safe and strong.
Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer.
Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine.
To keep safe and strong.
Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream lives on with United We Walk, an event that celebrates Dr. King Jr.'s birthday by embracing unity, diversity, and acceptance. Volunteer, participate, or donate to bolster your community and engage with your fellow citizens. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or go to unitedwewalk.org. Show your support Sunday, January 15th, 2023, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the new West Bloomfield Middle School.
Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV. What's happening around you? Hear about state events, businesses, and from the people behind them on the Megacast, an hour-long TV, radio, and streaming show keeping you informed on the day-to-day news. Listen in on talks with volunteer groups, documentarians, and financial advisors, Monday to Friday with your host, Tyler Kieft. Catch the Megacast, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 on Civic Center TV 89.3 and streaming on mymytv.com. Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
You're listening to your radio homes for the Megacast, 89.3 WBLD Orchard Lake and 88.1 WBFH Bloomfield Hills. Today's edition of the Megacast begins now.
Why is the music, the interview? Yeah.
Welcome to the Megacast, our live, local, daily, 5 days a week TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Keith. Guys, I can hear, just those back in the studio, I can hear you entirely in my ear, so I don't know what's going on there, if you guys are on the air with me or not, just FYI. Today, we'll be talking about to a number of people about topics of interest and importance to Michiganders just like you. Let's begin with what's making headlines today on civiccentertv.com's local news page. Our first article comes from Lily Altavina at the Detroit Free Press. As the Oxford community approaches 1 year since the tragic shooting that took the lives of 4 students and injured 6 other students and the teacher at Oxford High School, the Oxford Community School District has marked the November 30th anniversary as Remembrance Day, and all students in the district will have the day off of school per its decision made by district administrators. Quote, spend this day how your family needs to heal, reflect, mourn, and most of all, to love, and closed quote, wrote Ken Weaver, Oxford superintendent, in a message to families in the district as the harrowing anniversary approaches. Officials from the school district are asking families to take part in the moment of silence at 12:51 p.m. on the anniversary, at a time when 1 year ago, the first 911 calls from the shooting at Oxford High School came through local dispatchers. Luminaries are also being distributed to the community from All for Oxford Resiliency Center and will be lit at 7 p.m. on the 30th to honor the 4 students lost on that hallowed day. Oxford residents may now pick up those luminaries from the All for Oxford Resiliency Center, which is located at 1370 Lapeer Road. Pick those up Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Also making headlines today on civiccentertv.com's local news page from Mike Wilkinson at Bridge, Michigan. Last Tuesday's election once again heavily impacted by Michigan's no reason absentee voting law, which was enacted by a public vote referendum in 2018. An analysis of voting in person and absentee by Bridge, Michigan in 4 counties showed this new paradigm had a huge impact on Democrats' success in 2022 and overall in this election. Among counties that break down and track how votes are cast, 2 of the 4 of them showed absentee voters going strongly in favor of the incumbent Democrat Gretchen Whitmer, for governor. However, in some counties, such as Livingston and Monroe, GOP challenger Tudor Dixon won with same-day in-person voting over the governor. Here in Oakland County, a mix of the two, a key battleground in the state, of course. In recent elections, Governor Whitmer won on absentee votes, but lost in person. However, those absentee ballots were key, as Governor Whitmer did win the overall vote tally here in Oakland County, where we originate our broadcast. Over 1.8 million absentee ballots were sent out to eligible and applied voters before this election, with over 770,000 of those absentee ballots returned to their local clerks. See more on this extensive look at absentee voting's impact in 2022 that Bridge Michigan analyzed by clicking through to this article on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page. Finally, making headlines today on civiccentertv.com's local news page from the Detroit News' Hannah McKay. This holiday season, General Motors and the beloved basketball legend Magic Johnson will team up to feed 800 families in Detroit, already beginning over the weekend at an event at Second Ebenezer Church in Detroit. Johnson's Foundation and GM fed free turkey, ham, and other food to Detroiters, continuing a tradition that his foundation began in 2014 with its Holiday Hope event, having now hosted the event in Detroit, Flint, and in Magic Johnson's home city of Lansing. From the article proper, quote, Mr. Johnson and Magic Johnson Foundation hosted the Magic Johnson Holiday Hope. So we're hosting the home where Mr. Johnson is from, the state of Michigan, and closed quote, said Shane Jenkins, director of community relations for the Magic Johnson Foundation. He continued on by saying, quote, we're hosting 800 families in the Detroit area to ensure that they have a holiday this year and have the resources that they need to celebrate it normally. Also, direct from McKay's article, quote, General Motors contributed to the giveaway by providing funds and volunteers. Kim Villeneuve, 28, works at GM and said he wanted to give back to the community. Quote, it's very great knowing that we're still fortunate to be in a position where we can help out these families, and just very humbling experience, said he said, the man, of course, being from Troy. Quote, I'm really glad to be here and giving back and knowing that these families will have something to, eat on Thanksgiving and during the holidays, and closed quote. Heartwarming story for sure. All those headlines are on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page, along with those links to COVID-19 updates from the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division. We have a great show ahead on this Monday edition of the Megacast. Coming up next, we'll get ready for a prim, proper, and respectful holiday season with friends and family. The etiquette guru, Stacey Amy, joins us next on the Megacast.
Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV. What's happening around you? Hear about state events, businesses, and from the people behind them on the Megacast, an hour-long TV, radio, and streaming show keeping you informed on the day-to-day news. Listen in on talks with volunteer groups, documentarians, and financial advisors, Monday to Friday with your host, Tyler Kieft. Catch the Megacast, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 on Civic Center TV 89.3 and streaming on mymytv.com. Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12th, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28th, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer.
Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine.
To keep safe and strong.
Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream lives on with United We Walk, an event that celebrates Dr. King Jr.'s birthday by embracing unity, diversity, and acceptance. Volunteer, participate, or donate to bolster your community and engage with your fellow citizens. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or go to unitedwewalk.org. Show your support Sunday, January 15th, 2023 from 1 to 3 p.m. at the new West Bloomfield Middle School.
Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live local TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan, all across Michigan. I'm Tyler Keefe. Learn more about our program on our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast. You'll find more information on all of our partnering stations across the Great Lakes State, including My Michigan TV. Well, we are now officially in the holiday season. Halloween's passed. We're in mid-November. We're just a little bit under a week away from Thanksgiving, and it's approaching very quickly. And so as we get ready for the holiday season, it's important for us to be ready also to meet and greet and spend time with our family and friends, some of whom we have not seen in a very long time. Here to help us learn to do that in a way that's proper and healthy, but also very respectful for everybody involved, including yourself, is Stacy Amy, the etiquette guru, with us once again on the Megacast. Stacy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Hi, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. And so as we get back into the holiday season again, it's a difficult time of the year for a lot of people because you're seeing a lot of people at one time. And sometimes it's people that you haven't seen in a long time. It's people that maybe you don't get along with all too well, even within your own group of friends or extended friend groups or family groups. especially. So what suggestions do you have for people going into those kinds of situations to navigate them respectfully, but also, to keep their own peace as well?
The most important thing I can say is the thing about good manners and etiquette is it's all about making others feel comfortable whenever possible. So it becomes a choice. And when you step back and consider that, it may change your behavior, just keeping that in mind. And follow what you normally do and read people. If they are receptive to perhaps a hug, something like that, then hug it out by all means and read their signals. If they're stepping away from you, then give them that space.
It's also important too to recognize the space that you're going into or that people are coming into also. So Stacy, how do you balance that? If you're hosting, Friendsgiving, or you're hosting a Thanksgiving or other holiday gatherings with your family, and they're coming into your space, what's your suggestion for the best way to navigate people being respectful of your space, but also being respectful of those individual people, so you don't have those spats and those back and forth battles that sometimes erupt at family gatherings of this kind?
People are still divided and have a variety of comfort levels. I think, that's primarily what's on the table here. So if people are coming into your space, you can be forthcoming with perhaps your expectations, your ideas of how things should go. That's the courteous thing to do. If others aren't on the same page with you, that allows them to bow out gracefully if that's what they need to do. So I think communication is key always, and making your wishes known. And if people have a problem with it, then maybe next year you can all get together.
It's something that comes up every year during the holiday season, especially when you're thinking about Thanksgiving and getting together with an extended family. Is some of those conversations that go one way or the other, that are not quite as you'd like them to be. Certainly if politics come up, that can be a very divisive issue and divisive issues. So when you mentioned, like you said earlier, respectfully bowing out, how do you approach that? How do you suggest approaching that if a topic of conversation comes up that you really don't want to participate in because it's not going anywhere fruitful or anywhere that's going to be meaningful other than just for meaningless bickering? How do you respectfully approach bowing out of these conversations without just abandoning the gathering that you're at?
There's always pleasantly just saying we can agree to disagree and bow out that way. There's no winners there. If you're just trying to make a point or you feel it's that important, make your point and then leave it alone. But you can expect backlash from that, but to continue on, it's unfair, especially if you're at someone else's home and they're hosting a gathering and now you're arguing with other guests. I mean, stop and think about that. And, like I said in the beginning, step back. It's a choice. Do you really need to make your point? Is it that important to you that you're going to risk offending your host or hostess? I doubt it's worth it.
We're joined by Stacey Amy on today's edition of the Megacast, the etiquette guru, joining us on today's program as we're approaching the holiday season. We want to make sure you get ready for the season and get ready to invite people into your home, but also to go into other people's space and other people's homes as well. It's also a really busy time of the year too, outside of the home too, Stacey. So as we're approaching the holiday shopping season, we can see a lot of nastiness also happen out in the shops and out on the town as people are busy, they're rushed, they're trying to get things done. A lot at the same time, they're juggling the regular busyness of everyday life in today's world. What are your suggestions in those spaces to take care of what you need to take care of, but also to be respectful of everybody else's space, especially as everyone's starting to get back out now too in more great numbers, and things are expectedly going to be a little bit more crowded?
Yes, just take time. Take time to be kind. It's again your choice, and if you can see your way clear to open doors for people and step away from the nastiness, don't participate in it. And it's fun getting back out there and interacting with people, joking around with people. Make your time out in the public fun. You don't have to rush around and be blind to everyone else. I mean, we're all people. So I think if people can just take that time and interact with one another, it's just Let's make it fun for everyone. You don't have to walk around blindly to everything, and just be, completely into yourself. It's not the way to be.
We're joined by the etiquette guru, Stacey Amy, on today's edition of the Megacast. Of course, it's always going to be a tougher situation. And actually, we're having some technical issues back at our master control. So here's what we should do, just because we're in a little bit of a sticky situation with how things are looking technically. We're going to take a very short break, Stacey, and we're going to let our team get things situated back at master control so that this can be as smooth and look as good as possible on the other side. So we'll take a quick break. We're joined by Stacey Amy, the etiquette guru. We apologize for the inconvenience. We'll take a break. We'll come back very shortly. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4. Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer.
Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong.
Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV. What's happening around you? Hear about state events, businesses, and from the people behind them on the Megacast, an hour-long TV, radio, and streaming show keeping you informed on the day-to-day news. Listen in on talks with volunteer groups, documentarians, and financial advisors, Monday to Friday with your host, Tyler Kieft. Catch the Megacast, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 on Civic Center TV, 89.3, and streaming on mymytv.com. Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live local daily TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Keefe. Our apologies for the technical difficulties there. We have resolved them. We'll continue on now. We're joined by the etiquette guru, Stacey Amy, on today's edition of the Megacast. As we're approaching holiday season, want to make sure that we're being as respectful as we possibly can be for other people's space, and also ensuring that we're commanding that respect ourselves, but doing it with kindness as well. You can learn more from the etiquette guru and get in contact with Stacey about some of her different classes and other lessons that you can learn by going to her website, theetiquetteguru.com. Theetiquetteguru.com is your place to go. Your trusted source for etiquette courses since 2009. Stacey, as we continue on, this even outside of the holiday season, we've talked about what we can do in the home. We've talked about what we can do out in the community too. But it's an interesting time in our world and in our society as the COVID-19 pandemic continues on, but it also sort of resembles regular life before the pandemic in a way. And so as we're approaching the holiday season, it's a stressful time of the year. What suggestions do you have for people out in their daily life, whether it be out in the town or in the workplace, even at home, to respectfully approach their daily life in a way that doesn't necessarily inconvenience them or put them at a disadvantage, but in a way that's also really respectful of what so many other people are going through, which is all across the board at this point?
I think at some point we just have to believe that people will use their common sense, especially at this time of year with our loved ones and going to be sharing meals and things like that with them. If people are requesting things of you, again, that's your turn to make a choice. As I said earlier, if you're uncomfortable with something or you just plain don't want to do it, you can bow out gracefully. If it's something that's not that big of a deal, for example, this is an extreme example, but if somebody wants you to say, take a COVID test before coming to Thanksgiving, that would be a time where you're deciding, geez, do I really want to do this? Or you're on the side of, absolutely. Perhaps there's someone that is vulnerable that's going to be there. And then is it really that big of a deal for you to do that? Again, it's your call. So I think approaching things like that, trying to make others feel comfortable. But again, you're absolutely have the right to, if you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to do something that you don't want to do. But I think approaching life with that in mind, just trying to help to keep the peace and make everyone feel comfortable. I think people would get along pretty well if everybody went out with that mindset.
Theetiquetteguru.com is the website, theetiquetteguru.com, for more information and to get in contact with Stacey and her team at the Etiquette Guru. Business line 1-866-273-0728, 1-866-273-0728. You can also send her questions and business inquiries at theetiquetteguru@yahoo.com, theetiquetteguru@yahoo.com, and find her on Facebook, the Etiquette Guru MI, Instagram, Etiquette Guru, and Twitter _Etiquette Guru. Stacey, I want to go and give you a few minutes here to talk about some of your services too, because we can talk about different suggestions for what to do at home during the holidays, what to do out in the community during the holidays, certainly in our day-to-day life, but it's different than getting that one-on-one lesson or that group lesson that can really help put these different ideas into practice and make them habit.
The thing that I want to drive home, the rules and actions of manners and etiquette, they're simple and finite. It's your choice, but you need to have the skills first in order to choose. So I think profoundly what I see out in public are dining skills, table manners. They are lacking. And so I invite people of all ages. I have classes for children through adults. Let's refresh our skills together. Maybe not before Thanksgiving, but perhaps before Christmas and throughout next year. It's a very obvious skill or lack thereof. And if you want to appear poised for whatever reason, you need those skills specifically. Nobody enjoys dining with somebody that's lacking there. It's not a pleasant experience. So it is very important.
And there's also plenty of adult options too, adult etiquette, family style wedding parties too. All of this can be found on Stacey's website, theetiquetteguru.com. Stacey, before we let you go another couple minutes, I want to thank you again for joining us today and for your patience.
You're welcome.
During this segment today, Stacey. Anything else that you would like to say or any other topics we haven't covered on the etiquette side of things that would be important for our audience to be keeping in consideration at this time?
Just in relation to children, I'm going to the MEMSPA conference. That's for elementary and middle school principals. So any educators out there, if you're going to that, please stop by my booth. I have a lot of great giveaways. I'm trying to partner with schools to create a more positive environment at school and therefore in society. So trying to get in there and work with educators on that. I know they do the awesome job of all the regular school things, and this is just an education of a different kind, but so complementary to one another. So I'm looking so forward to that and meeting everybody there. That's the next great thing I have coming up. So I'm really looking forward to that. And you can maybe see over my shoulder, whoops, I'm going the wrong way. You can see Super Murray peeking there behind me. So offering that too, my Murray Mags, just a plethora of information for children, and just a great opportunity to learn many different things that they might not otherwise come across in their life. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and just helping out wherever people want assistance in reminding or learning, teaching more etiquette and manners, and just bringing more peace and joy to the world if everybody considers everyone else as they go through their daily life.
All of that information on her website, theetiquetteguru.com. You can also call 1-866-273-0728, 1-866-273-0728, or email theetiquetteguru@yahoo.com. Stacey, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All those services, more information, and find out how you can get a copy of the latest and subscribe to Murray Mag at theetiquetteguru.com, theetiquetteguru.com. We'll take a break on the Megacast. On the other side, it's tough financial times, difficult waters to be navigating. Why a relationship with your financial institution could help how a relationship with your financial institution can help you navigate these troubled waters. Karma Peters joins us next to talk about that. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream lives on with United We Walk, an event that celebrates Dr. King Jr.'s birthday by embracing unity, diversity, and acceptance. Volunteer, participate, or donate to bolster your community and engage with your fellow citizens. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or go to unitedwewalk.org. Show your support Sunday, January 15th, 2023, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the new West Bloomfield Middle School.
Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live local TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about our program on our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find information on all of our partnering stations across the Great Lakes state and find all of our full shows and each individual interview on demand. civiccentertv.com/megacast. Well, we're in some interesting financial times as the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates. Inflation continues to have an impact in all areas of our economy, including in your pocketbook. How can a relationship with your financial institution help you improve your financial standing now and set you up for a better financial standing once we get through this crisis eventually? Joining us now to talk about that is Karma Peters, the president and CEO of Michigan Legacy Credit Union, on the Megacast. Karma, thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning, Tyler. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, good to have you back on the program. And it's really important that we build these relationships with these financial institutions that we're managing our money with, even those that we're just, putting money into our checking and into our savings with. They can really help us with so many other resources especially these credit unions and other banking institutions that tend to have those closer relationships with their customers, being that their customers are so invested in those credit unions. So in the case of your institution, Michigan Legacy Credit Union, what are some of the ways that people can take advantage of building a relationship with your organization while they're, of course, storing and managing their money with you? And how can that be of benefit to their financial future and present?
Well, we really look at the whole relationship with our member owners because we do have this long lasting relationship. We want to look at when someone's asking for help, how sticky are they in their relationship with us? Do they do most of their business with us, or do they just do one loan? It makes a big difference. When you're starting to maybe experience financial struggles, having that relationship makes all the difference in the things that we can do for you. We have many options out there, but part of that is possibly skipping a payment. It's that time of year where people like to skip a payment as the holidays come so they can use that money towards their holiday spending budget. But we can also match rates. People ask us all the time to match rates with someone else to keep their business here, and we appreciate that opportunity. And we do that as often as we possibly can. But having all your business here lets us look at other opportunities too, to maybe help you lower some rates, such as moving some unsecured rate into a secured loan with a lower rate. So just having that whole picture gives us more opportunity to help our members.
We're joined by Karma Peters, the president and the CEO of Michigan Legacy Credit Union. On today's edition of the Megacast, you can find more information by going to their website at michiganlegacycu.org, michiganlegacycu.org. And among some of those different services that you provide, can go through some of those details and in terms of what some of these services that you provide can do to help different people that are through your financial institution or that even other credit unions and those sorts of financial institutions can do to help people manage their money, move the money in correct positions, but also to battle some of the current things that we're battling in the economy, whether it be inflation or rising interest rates to sort of match and try to counteract that inflation. There's a lot to balance right now that you really need to have that back and forth with your financial institution in order to make sure you're navigating it properly.
Most definitely. One of the biggest things to do is to check the rates on all of your loans or credit cards. Many department stores start at 28%. As a federal credit union that's federally insured, our interest rate can only go to 18%. And in many cases, it's lower than that, depending on the member's credit score. So look at those department store cards and see if we can transfer those to maybe a signature loan or even a secured loan with a lower rate. A lot of people do not realize as well that you can borrow against your own money. So you can use a savings or a certificate and borrow against that. If you don't have any plans on using it, you'll get a much lower rate than just a standard personal loan or signature loan or a regular credit card. So those are definitely things to check out. But on credit cards also, check out those annual fees. A lot of times, if you're a rewards person, but you're not using the rewards, you can pay a higher annual fee. Our credit cards and many other credit unions offer a no annual fee credit card for the purposes of helping save members money so they're not spending money on fees that they don't necessarily need or will use that will benefit them.
Again, more information on how you can get in contact with Karma and the team at Michigan Legacy Credit Union can be found on their website, michiganlegacycu.org. And Karma, in terms of building that relationship, so I would imagine the fear for many people going through their banking institution and having these sort of negotiations is you're going to get a cookie cutter response because they're dealing with so many different people and they're dealing with so many different financial situations that you're going to get just sort of one or the other, a one size fits all solution, and maybe be talking to someone that doesn't really know you, doesn't really know where you're at and what you need. How is that different at your institution and at credit unions versus a larger banking institution?
Because we are Michigan based and locally owned, we make our decisions right here. We get to treat each member and look at the whole picture rather than just an automated decision model. That's one of the nicest features. We have many members that we've been able to help in unconventional ways just by thinking outside the box. And that's part of that local decision making right here in Metro Detroit. So I would encourage everyone to check that out. Check out Michigan Legacy or check out your local credit union. Many of us, especially smaller financial institutions, have that ability. And we get to know our member owners. So we have different options. I think one of the things that came out of the pandemic is even our collections department became friends with people that were experiencing hardships during the pandemic. And that seems to have carried through. The sooner you talk to someone, the more options that are available. So don't put off those conversations. Have them right away so that you have as many options as possible open to you if you are experiencing or think you're going to experience financial difficulties.
Yeah, and people can't really control karma when they're going to need a loan necessarily. In some cases, they can. You can decide that I'm going to stay in my home or my apartment a little bit longer before I look to, go somewhere else or buy another home or downsize or whatever the case may be. But in some cases, they do need to make those decisions quickly for their financial future, especially given the state of our economy. So when that comes around and you have a situation like we're in right now with interest rates continuing to rise as the Federal Reserve tries to counteract the impact of inflation on the economy, how can that relationship with your credit union, with your credit institute, with your financial institution right now help you now also get into a better situation that you need to be into, maybe get a new home loan, or you got to get a different car and you need to get a new loan there, but the interest rates are going to be high. How can you best establish that relationship now so that when the economy does correct itself and those interest rates eventually do hopefully come back down, that you can also recover on the backside of this and really be in an even better position financially with whatever loans you may be getting?
That really comes to play in having that deep relationship. So it is important. We look at, are they saving money? Even if it's $5 a week and you show that consistent payment pattern every time you get paid, you don't have to save a lot of money, but save a little and put that away as your emergency fund. Those are things that we do look at. There's many other options that we look at too. One of the things that's becoming more popular now with rates going up is variable rates. People have been afraid of those in the past. The fixed rates have been so low. Now may be a great time to look at that variable rate. And as rates come back down, then you can refinance it into a fixed rate. So that's one of the options that's available now to you.
Again, more information can be found on getting in contact with Michigan Legacy Credit Union, as well as all their resources on their website, MichiganLegacyCU.org. MichiganLegacyCU.org, and many of our other financial institutions locally, banks and credit unions alike, have very similar services too. So no, even if Michigan Legacy Credit Union isn't your financial institution of choice, check the website of your financial institution for many of these resources as well. We're joined by Karma Peters on today's edition of the Megacast. She is the president and CEO of Michigan Legacy Credit Union, as we're in really interesting financial times because of the state of the market, because of the state of the economy and the uncertainty for when it's going to go back to normal, if it's going to go back to normal, how many different ebbs and flows it's going to take before the economy eventually does what it always does and self-corrects and brings itself to more of a plateau. And so when there are those opportunities for savings, or at least let's reframe it to, what are some of those opportunities for savings right now that people can take by going through their financial institutions? One that I know is suggested pretty often is opportunities through CDs. Now, when I think of CDs, I think of the late 90s to early 2000s listening to music, but financially they can be really helpful and they have nothing to do with your favorite tunes.
They can. Right now we're running a special. So we have 3.5% for 6 months. So it's a great way to stash away a little bit of money and take advantage of the rates going up before they go down. We also have some longer terms, but we're offering that special right now just to attract some savings and get people to really push into saving that money and earning some good interest while the rates are available.
Again, more information to get in contact with Michigan Legacy Credit Union can be found on their website, michiganlegacycu.org, michiganlegacycu.org for more information, as well as how you can get in contact with them through social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and more. You can also give them a call as well by looking at their website and finding their number there. Call them at 800-552-8643 or text them 248-409-3150. Karma, anything else that we should be keeping in mind right now in terms of how we can utilize those relationships with our financial institutions to put some more money in our pockets, some more savings in our accounts as we continue to navigate really uncertain waters here economically?
Well, a lot of people know that the mortgage industry has slowed down, but home equities can be a great way to utilize that equity that you have in your home right now, especially if you're not planning on moving. You can capture and use that equity to do some of those projects that you didn't get finished without refinancing at the higher rate and paying those refinancing costs. So that's another way to look at that equity that you have and put it to good use. Finishing those things that you need or putting some things in order. It's a great way to do that right now.
Once again, more information can be found from Michigan Legacy Credit Union on their website, michiganlegacycu.org. Karma, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Have a great day.
Karma Peters, the CEO and the president of Michigan Legacy Credit Union. Some great information from her. We'll stay right here as we have just about 10 minutes left in today's edition of the Megacast. As always, if you're just tuning in, you missed today's interviews, you can always find them online as well as our full shows at civiccentertv.com/Megacast. Also on that page, we have links to every single one of our partnering TV, radio, and streaming outlets, so you can find us in your local area on TV and on the radio and anywhere online, anytime, civiccentertv.com. Different outlets all across the state, including My Michigan TV, which has their own original programming and imported programming all about the state of Michigan, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at mymytv.com. You can also learn more about each and every one of our TV and radio partners, such as the BIF at Bloomfield Hills Schools, which operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 5 days a week has student programming all afternoon, beginning in the 3 o'clock hour, 3 o'clock all the way to 9 o'clock. They'll have students on the air 5 days a week. They do great programming, sports, music, entertainment, just some DJing, a little bit of everything over there at the BIF. I should know, I'm an alum. They do some great programming there. And you know what? If the worst thing they've had over the history of that illustrious high school radio station has been me being on the air, they're doing something right. So definitely we're going to want to check them out and see all their great broadcasts. Also a great place to enjoy some high school sports throughout the seasons, as well as they broadcast basketball, soccer, volleyball games occasionally too. In the spring, they'll do maybe some baseball. Certainly they do Bloomfield Hills football games in the fall as well. And then we have Lake Orion Neighborhood Television in Waterford, the media network of Waterford, all these great stations with variable programming for your local area, in this local area where we originate our broadcast in Oakland County, and of course go statewide with MyTV. All that information on our website, civiccentertv.com/Megacast, and also our local news page with up-to-date information on top stories on the COVID-19 front and beyond, all across the state of Michigan. And as we continue on with COVID-19 and we think about other viruses such as the seasonal flu and certainly RSV also taking a big impact on our communities, get up-to-date information from resources you can trust, experts on the front line from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention at the federal level, statewide, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and locally where we originate our broadcast in Oakland County from the Oakland County Health Division. Now, those links will take you to their direct COVID-19 related page, but it's also a great way to navigate around their website, get there right away without having to dig for what that exact website is. I'm certainly not being sent to any websites that are made to look like duplicates, but are completely not related at all and may have a lot of false information on them. Go straight to our website, click on our local news page at civiccentertv.com and find those links there. We got about 5-6 minutes left in today's program, so I want to go over a topic very near and dear to my heart, which is sports. And of course, looking at this football season, big expectations for the Detroit Lions. And well, as we tend to expect from that team. Big disappointment. The Lions 3-6 overall following their win yesterday on the road at the Chicago Bears. And, it was one of those performances where you like what you saw, you like the fight that you see in the team, you like certainly the way they're able to be resilient and not get down on themselves when they're down by 2 scores and more on the road in tough territory in Chicago. A little bit of cooler weather for the first time they've seen this season, certainly injuries being an impact, but the fact that they were able to get out of there with a really well-fought game, a late score to take the lead, and a W 31-30 against a divisional rival, that's really important. And it's really important because looking at the standings in their division in the NFC North, this puts them in the driver's seat to fight for second place, possibly still in the cards is a wild card appearance. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not. I think that the NFC North, as weak as it is this year, I look at the Lions' schedule and I think, well, if you're going to contend for a playoff spot, you're going to need at least 10 wins, probably 11 wins to get into those wild card positions in the NFC. Now, overall, the NFC is not exactly the strongest. It's very top heavy. Divisional leaders right now, the Eagles in the NFC East 8-0, and the NFC West, it's the Seahawks, a nice little surprise team at 6-4, with the 49ers right on their tail at 5-4. The Seahawks yet to have their bye week this season. NFC North, it's all Vikings all the time in Minnesota, 8-1 overall following their big victory yesterday on the back of Kirk Cousins. And one hell of a reception by Justin Jefferson. If you haven't seen that, I highly suggest you go online and search Justin Jefferson one-handed catch. Look at that game yesterday against the Bills, a decisive play that put the Vikings in a position to win that game and continue on a great season they're having. 8-1 overall record right there with the Eagles in the NFC. And other than the Eagles having played one fewer game, haven't had their bye week yet, and the Vikings having a loss, they're right there, one of the top teams in the entire NFL. Heading back to the NFC North, looking at the Lions and their position, you look at the teams in second, third, and fourth place, and all these divisions in the NFC overall, the Lions can compete for a wild card spot. They can, but they have to have one heck of a second part to this season. 9 games in to a now 17-game season, previously a 16-game season in the past. This year, 17 games. They've played 9. They got 8 left. You look at their schedule. This week, the New York Giants, they're going up against the Giants, who are 7-2. Then Thanksgiving Day, they play against the Buffalo Bills, which you would think that's possibly a winnable game there if Josh Allen, MVP candidate, one of the best quarterbacks, highest regarded quarterbacks too, in the entire league, doesn't play in that game. You're in a much better chance. You're in a much better position to win against their backup quarterback, Case Keenum, than you are against one of the best in the league in Josh Allen, especially with his ability to get mobile and his physicality, also just his size and his stature and his athleticism. That's a tough matchup for this Lions defense, which has had a lot of struggles against running quarterbacks. You think about even this week, Justin Fields able to be elusive, get outside the tackles, escape the tackles, and when contained is broken, and get some serious yardage and get in the end zone a couple of times as well, and find a way to make some plays. That's going to be a tough matchup against Josh Allen in a couple of weeks. This week, the Giants having a great season, 7-2 overall record. Then you got the Bills, 6-3 overall. Jaguars, it's a winnable game. They're currently 3-7. Then you got those Vikings leading the NFC North at 8-1. Jets at 6-3. Panthers and the Bears back to back, both currently 3-7. And then the Green Bay Packers, who just couldn't lose yesterday and help us out a little bit, now at 4-6. They're in second place in the division. They would have lost yesterday. They would have been, of course, 3-7. That would have put the Lions in sole second place in the NFC North division. However, looking at the schedule, 9 games left. I go down the line. Giants, Bills, Vikings, Jets. Those are 4 games you're probably not going to win. Now, that being said, I don't think they're winning those 4 games. Could they break 2 of those games out and win? Yeah, I think the Giants is a winnable game, and I think the Jets is a winnable game. I don't think you're beating the Bills. I definitely don't think you're beating the Vikings as well as you competed against them earlier on in the season. So if you're really looking at this schedule, you got to win 7 out of these next 9 games. You got to win 7 out of these next 8 games to get into the playoffs. I don't see it. I think what we got to hope for from the Lions is a 4-4 finish overall. Have a respectful season. 7-10 overall record is a huge improvement from a year ago. Puts you in position to use that draft capital that you have, this young talent base that you have, to build a team for next year to be a winner and compete all across the NFL, especially with your division being as weak as it is right now. And, Aaron Rodgers probably not going to be around very much longer in the NFC North, maybe even in the NFL after having quite a struggle this season in Green Bay. Well, look at the time. We are out of time here on the Megacast. We'll certainly be able to talk a lot more about the Lions in the future, but for now, we've got to go. Thank you for joining us today. And of course, all of our guests for joining us on today's edition of the Megacast. That does it for this edition of the program. We'll return soon with a new episode.